good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. Get yourself a cup of coffee. If you're following the adventures of East Grand Woodsman, well, today's another adventure. Went fishing yesterday. We ended up with quite a few bass, nothing spectacular. A couple of them we fed to the eagles. Boy, we had a grand show of 2 eagles out there. I'm gonna have to bring a game camera out because, boy, one of those just massive, full-grown adult eagle, so beautiful, gliding in and snagging the fish off the top of the snow. I was thinking I could set up a game camera not too far away and catch that on video. Just beautiful. That's my outdoors. I don't a lot of the crap that you see on YouTube isn't my outdoors, let me tell you. And I've also started to get a lot of comments now and different emails about people liking my videos because they're not AI created. And I've been catching some of those on YouTube. It started back in November. I started seeing some of these crazy deer videos, and putting 2 and 2 together. And now that it's ice fishing season, you're starting to see some ice fishing generated videos, and that's really a shame. But that's not what today's video is about. Maybe we'll pick on that in the future. But I picked it up in my comment the other day. Somebody had mentioned that somebody new to the channel, and they had mentioned how they subscribe to the channel because there's nothing in there that's AI created. What you see is what you get on this channel. This is straight from down home, great state of Maine, old fisherman, old hunter. So what you see is what you get. And if you don't like it, well, you might want to go to some of that AI stuff. And maybe drink a cup of coffee with some of that crap. But anyways, yesterday on the ice we had a great day. I had my 2 nephews out there, my nephew and my great nephew, and just a great day to hang out in the fish house. Beautiful day, close to 40 degrees. Today is 41 degrees, so today's a mechanical day. I don't have a shop where I can go in and get all nice toasty warm. I do everything right here in front of the door. A plane just went by with skis on it, so they're landing planes on the lake. That's pretty fun. We don't have as much ice as I thought we would have. You know, we got the shack out there, and we're sitting on a foot of ice, which is a lot of ice compared to the years gone by here, the last few years. But it's been so cold the month of December, I was expecting a lot more ice. Like I said, we got a foot, which is more than enough. But so I've got a new to me snowmobile, and we will be probably showing it to you today a little bit. I traded in the Snow Dog. I've talked about it in a couple videos now. I purchased a Snow Dog in 21. I didn't care for it. I didn't like how it handled in the snow, and I didn't like what it could do for work. So I sold that this December. Sold it. I bought that in 2021. Sold that, and I scoured Marketplace, and I found myself a 2002 Skidoo Scandic. Long track, wide track. What a beast of a machine. This thing will pull anything. It's got first gear, second gear, and reverse. So this is going to be my new work mule for the outdoor stuff that I do. But it also came with electric start. But they had the battery out of it, and they also had the ends of the cables taped up with black electrical tape. So I was, 2002, I was thinking, well, must be something wrong with the starter or something like that. So anyways, I had a new battery sitting here for the 6-wheeler. So I slid that into the snowmobile, and starter works great. Starter works great. So I hooked up the battery, got that all taken care of, let it set overnight, went out the next day to try to start it, and the battery was deader than a doornail. So I'm not really an electrician when it comes to this stuff, but that tells me that there must be a bad ground somewhere, and it's just a draw on the battery. So what I'm going to do is like you do on ocean boats or big equipment, you can put in a battery switch that shuts the battery off at night. All it is it goes in your red cable or your negative cable, doesn't really matter which. It's just a shut off switch, just like what's in your house, on and off. So I picked this up off eBay. Really nice heavy duty one. Nice big handle. It's made for a piece of equipment or a big boat. It's definitely not made for a snowmobile. But I wanted something that was rugged, durable, and dependable. And but this thing was $12 on eBay, brand spanking new. Then I needed a cable, so I got that off eBay too. This came off, I forget what snowmobile it was. But what I need is the cable that comes up from the starter is too short for me to get to the dash for this. So what I'm going to do is on the positive cable, I am going to bolt them together, tape that up with electrical tape, so I got a good safe connection there, and then run this up to the switch and then back to the battery. And that will give me everything that I need. And then at night when I'm finished with the snowmobile, I'll just shut the battery off, and that should protect my battery from the drain. I can't imagine that won't solve my problem. During the day, after the machine is warmed up, I definitely don't need the electric start. But first thing in the morning when the machine is cold, the electric start will be really nice. I'm used to a primer button. On the old sled, my old 89 sitting behind you, there's a primer button. You prime that button 3 times, and you pull the cord, and it will start the first pull. The newer machines, they did away with the primer button because so many people couldn't understand them. They did away with them and they went back to the old choke. Well, you need to choke it, then you need to pull the engine over 3 times. I prefer to prime the button 3 times and pull the engine over once. So I would love to go back to that method, but they told me it can't be done. So anyways, I'll let the electric start crank it over 3 times. And then during the daylight hours, after she's warmed up and I'm ice fishing with it or whatever I'm doing, it only takes about 6 inches of pull cord to start it anyways. So, but I have the electric start, so I'm going to make it all work. How's that sound? But just a good day to work down back. Plus I needed to flatten out an area, getting ready to build that fish house. One more trip to the hardware store to get my fasteners and all that stuff, and then I can get going on that fish house. But outside of that, for right now, I guess that's it. I'll get to work on this switch. I'll take you over to the machine and show you a little bit of what I've got going on. I found a place behind the dash that will accept this and not get in the way of anything. It is a pretty big one for a snowmobile. But that's okay. Alrighty, I'll bring you along for the ride. Alrighty, I'm back. It's coffee time. I didn't videotape much of that. A lot of work. Dragged the camera around just to cut off cables and all of that. But it is coffee time. Wind's picking up. It's supposed to get cold tonight. Here's the switch. I got the hole drilled for this to go through my dashboard. And this is the cable. I purchased this off eBay for, boy, it wasn't very much money. Come off a 1980s snowmobile. Probably could have bought one brand new. I don't know. but I doubt I could get it dirt cheap. So what I did, I needed this switch. This switch is going to go right in the middle of this cable. That's why I bought the long cable. Now this end will go to the cable that goes to the starter, and this end will go to the battery. With a switch in the middle, it acts just like your light switch on your home at the front door. On, off, that's it. So if this thing's off, the battery won't start. I mean, the starter won't engage, just like your light bulb wouldn't engage. But what I did was I snipped it in half. Because I'm a trapper, or so, you know, I'm working at it. I far from call myself a trapper, but I am having fun with it. But I do have some tools because of the trapping equipment, and one of them is it's for cutting cables, but then you need to put an end on your cables. So I have a tool for putting on cable ends, which I'm finding to be really handy in a lot of other stuff other than just trapping. And this is one of them. The starter came with these copper ends, which are actually, you know, the snowmobile ends would never go on there, but the ones that came with it do. So what I did was cut that off. They're brand new copper ends, slid them on. I put them in my tool that I have for crimping. It's a crimping tool. And then I put on the hot sleeves for protecting the copper that's in the wire. You melt it down with a match or a torch or a heating iron, anything. It just makes for a nice, good connection. So now I'll go install all of this on the snowmobile, and then I've got electric start. But right now, I think it's time for another sip of coffee. My nephew's headed to the fish house tomorrow with his whole family. He purchased that Tundra, 2002 Tundra, off my father this year. And his son, I don't know how old he is. Oh, maybe 10, maybe 9. But anyways, his son, Michael, he came up to me the other day. He didn't know that I knew about the snowmobile. He said, my dad bought a snowmobile. So we can go for a ride. Oh, he was happy as a clam. So tomorrow, he's headed out ice fishing. And I imagine they're going to go for a lot of rides. Alrighty, back to work. There's the cables all locked on. These red covers came with it, came with the switch. So this makes for a really nice setup. Like I said, right now, this will go to the battery cable that goes to the starter. Then this will go to the battery. Simple, easy, and nice clean setup. By doing everything outside of the snowmobile, I can get a good tight fit on these nut and bolts. What there is there's a 2-nut deal. So if you put a wrench on the first one and you put a wrench on the second one and don't touch the switch and squeeze the 2 wrenches, you can get an extremely tight crunch on those 2 nuts without hurting your switch. If you turn this thing inside that switch, eventually you're going to ruin it. So keep that in mind if you're playing with this idea for your own snowmobile or a boat or a tractor or a pickup truck. If you've got a pickup, I had a pickup that had a drain on the battery for years. We finally figured it out, but you can install one of these in your pickup just as easy, right beside your battery. Pop the hood, and if you're on a 10-day fishing trip, or if you're on a 30-day fishing trip and going to leave your pickup behind, one of these switches is a really good idea. Pop the hood, turn the switch off, battery will protect itself, and when you come out of the woods 30 days later, you will have a pickup that will drive you home.